Welcome to Stars and Glitterballs with Jess and Lindsay.
This episode, we're going to talk about theatre in schools and how it is perceived. Now, drama wasn't even compulsory for me.
No,
Not in, it, well, it was compulsory until year nine, and
yeah,
then
same for me.
then you got to pick, your GCSEs, and I did not pick it.
No,
Um, in my class, a lot of people messed around. Um, no
mine
one,
too.
no one took it seriously. I got to be honest. But also, for me, it was never actively promoted. Sort of like there was never like the school's doing this production if you would like to kind of audition, or we're going.
Yeah,
There was no trips either. Never any trips that I can remember.
no. Um, yeah, for me, like there was shows that the school put on, but
That's
you
good.
had to go to drama club.
It's very closed, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
And
um,
hard to get into if you're like maybe just wanting to try it out or something.
yeah. You almost had to kind of have a bit of experience at least, which was very difficult.
Yeah, especially if you're not that confident, but you're trying to do it to gain confidence, for instance, which drama can
Yeah,
be used for that. Um, yeah, so I think there was like one trip that I remember, but it wasn't connected to drama. We just went to see something for some reason. Maybe it was for English. I don't know. It was like GCSE. I know that though, and I remember just being like, "Oh, this is gonna be so," like thinking, "Oh, it's gonna be so boring," and like we all just sat in this theatre, and like no one was really paying attention. And yeah, it was nice to get out from lessons, but apart from that, there was just nothing kind of to write home about. Um,
yeah,
which is ironic now because I'd love a trip to the theatre.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. But similar to me, really. I mean, I only remember one trip
yeah.
to go see a show, and I think it was kind of for RE. It
Oh
was
yeah.
for Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. So obviously, because it's like kind of religious, I don't know about your school, but everyone was like, "That's like the worst subject in the world,"
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and
Wasn't
everyone kind of
compulsory.
just, yeah, hated it. So I remember quite vividly actually, we was all like sat on the balcony and everyone was just messing about the whole show.
Yeah,
It's
that was the
probably a good
same.
job we was at the balcony because otherwise we'd been very annoying.
Yeah, because there were
Um,
genuine people trying to.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the
Uh,
very final song, I don't know how or why or how it was even allowed to happen, but basically everyone got up and was jumping around, like dancing to the final song. I
which
don't
doesn't really happen in theatre. Like
know.
there's a few exceptions, isn't there? Like Kinky Boots, the final song, for instance.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
usually the audience aren't that. But unless it's pantomime, they're not really. They kind of just clap.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like thinking back to it now, I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe the teachers didn't like kind of say like, guys, can you sit down? Or maybe they did.
Yeah,
Maybe people ignored them. I mean, it
yeah,
was quite a while ago, but
yeah. I was very lucky, that I was introduced to it at A level with theatre trips, and then
yeah,
fell in love with it. But certainly at kind of GCSE level, it was like nope. And I think
yeah,
it's seen as, I think definitely at that age, it's seen as like an older people film, and
yeah,
cinema's much more kind of preferable and cool and trendy.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
I
you
mean, I
you go to
did.
it. You go to a cinema. You don't go to a theatre when you're 16. That kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I feel like I did like it more than kind of a lot of people did,
Yeah,
and I did
yeah.
go to see quite a few shows growing up, and when we went to see Joseph with school, I had actually already seen Joseph.
Mm.
So
So
I
for
kind of
you,
knew
like,
what to
yeah.
expect.
So for you, it would have been kind of more understandable if you'd messed around since you'd already seen it. But obviously,
Yeah.
for everyone else, they
Well, I
hadn't.
wasn't messing
No,
around.
I wouldn't imagine for a second you would do anything of the sort.
Goody two shoes.
Me, meanwhile, I'd be like throwing paper, all sort. But I was never that bad. I would mess around, but I'd never be the person that got caught. Put it that way.
Yeah, yeah,
um, yeah. So in terms of the actual lessons, the content of the lessons, the drama lessons that I had, again, I just really like I'm just sat here now. I'm just really struggling to just remember anything. Like I think we used to do like little
Yeah.
scenes. A lot of the time, it was me getting out of doing anything. That's what I was trying to do. Just stand to the corner of the room and like just pretend I'm invisible. And I didn't particularly like the people in my class either. I don't think so. That didn't really help. I just didn't really get on with any of them. And our teacher was just very, teachers that are like too relaxed and the class takes
Yeah.
advantage. That type of
Yeah.
teacher. So
Yeah.
they would run around the drama studios. Some would just leave the class. Like it was absolutely, chaotic.
Yeah. I can relate to that one. Yeah. As I don't really remember much about ours. I just remember having a lot of teachers.
Yeah, we went
Like,
through a
I
lot.
don't really remember there being one stand out. Although I think kind of when I was in year 10 and 11, so when I wasn't doing it, but the people who did drama GCSE, I feel like there was kind of a teacher then who seemed to, I think she's still there actually, and kind of was sort of took it seriously and actually was
Yeah,
pretty good.
I had
Um,
similar actually. I think we had like a kind of head of drama, and she always seemed she had like a second subject though, so she would teach I think it was humanities, and then she also could teach drama. And we never had her, but she was scary. Like you don't want to get on the wrong side of her. We had this guy who was just like chill as hell. So
yeah,
yeah, I guess it definitely depends what teacher you get. That's for sure.
yeah. I remember we did have this one guy once who literally just used to play all these really good games that I can't remember what they were. I
Games,
just
yeah.
remember them being quite good.
Why were
Um,
games a thing? That's
yeah, I don't know. I don't actually remember doing much like actual acting, but then I
mm,
absolutely hated it, so I've probably blocked it out of my mind.
yeah, same,
I
yeah.
think the only bit that I can really vividly remember was doing this freeze frame thing, and I think I can more remember it because we had to take pictures of the freeze frame and then print them out and write
Yeah.
about them in a book, which I found was odd. I think that was like at the beginning of the year, and we never used this drama book ever again.
Oh, we never had
Um,
books, yeah.
yeah, I think it was the only drama book I ever had, and it had like 3 pages in it. But I don't really remember what that was about as such. But I feel like we had a car. Oh, it might have been. It's like kind of coming back to me now. I feel like we might have been on a roller coaster. That was it. So there was like the chairs kind of
Uh,
set out like you was in a roller coaster,
so you
and
had
you
to do
had to
like
act
reactions.
like you was on a roller coaster, and then like getting off. And I remember one guy kind of like acting like he was going to be ill. Yeah,
See, it all sounds like good fun, and it is good fun. But the biggest problem for people who are maybe more introverted and stuff is the other people, isn't it? It's the other people in the room.
yeah,
If it
yeah,
was, say, if you were in a group with like all your friends and your friendship group, then it wouldn't be half as bad because I don't know, it's just different, isn't it? Like they know what you're
yeah,
like, they know what you're like, and like you can joke around with them. But when it's people you don't know or like more kind of popular people than you, it's just I don't know, just fear of judgment and stuff, isn't it?
yeah. Like when you're kind of in that environment, I feel
Definitely
like
a
people
hierarchy.
just, yeah, people kind of like pick on you, and if you kind of don't feel confident, they almost seem to pick up on it, and
Oh
then
yeah,
use that to their advantage.
they can sense it. Yeah, yeah,
I think that was kind of always my issue. I
yeah.
just like never enjoyed it. But then like it's the total opposite for primary school, because at primary school I was in the choir, and did that like as an extra after school thing.
Wow.
Um, I don't remember actually doing drama at primary school. Was that a thing?
Yeah.
I don't
See,
know.
for me, primary school music, we did a lot of music. Remember doing music and instruments and stuff, but not.
Yeah,
I don't know whether they kind of mixed drama in with PE or what. Like I don't know.
yeah. I remember we used to do violin like every Wednesday afternoon.
Oh,
Um,
violin. We,
yeah, for like 2 years.
as far as I can remember, we did like there was like these like African drums, not like proper, not
Oh
like
yeah,
drums, not like drums with sticks, but drums you whack with your hands. That's
Yeah.
really great like technical terminology there. And guitar. That's and ukulele. That's
Well,
well,
that's
maybe
well, they're pretty good. Guitar. Never did guitar.
yeah.
I mean, we used to do. I can't remember what they're called. I want to say they're called clates, but I could be totally making
I
it
don't
up.
know.
These two like wooden sticks that you'd like tap together.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know what they're called, but I know what you mean. Yeah.
And we used to do that to kind of like learn the different like lengths of a beat.
Wow.
I remember doing that, and
Tambourine as
then
well. That's a classic for primary
oh
school.
yeah, and the triangle.
Oh
Can't
yeah.
forget the triangle. Um, but yeah, like in primary school, I don't really remember doing like drama kind of as a standalone thing. Obviously, you do the shows at kind of like Christmas,
Yeah.
and then because I was in drama club, not drama club, choir, never was in drama club, we'd kind of do shows throughout the year. So I did Lion King, and then I was also in Joseph. Can't remember if there was anything else. I know they did Oliver, but I wasn't in that one. And then kind of like as well as after school, you'd get taken out of lessons and like rehearse then, and then we'd kind of
Yeah.
do it for a few nights in the week, performing it. I used to really enjoy that, but then kind of like when I went to senior school, it was like everything was all like official and serious, and
Yeah, it was
that
like
was the end of that.
uncool to be in the choir and
Yeah,
all that sort of thing. Yeah, it's
and
so
like I wish I'd
sad,
done it
really, isn't
now.
it? Like,
Yeah,
I really do regret messing around as much as I did, and I just think, oh, I kick myself now, and I'm like, if only I knew. But it's so impossible just with the way secondary school's set up, and
yeah,
the focus is on the core subjects, isn't it? And it always has been English and maths and science sometimes, mainly English and
yeah,
maths.
yeah.
Um, I mean, another thing that's kind of related, but not really, is I used to always dread dance as well. We used to do like a rotation thing in PE. So
Oh yeah.
sometimes we would do like outside stuff on the astroturf. So like football. I like doing football, but it was like rarely did the girls do football, which really used to annoy me.
Really?
Yeah, they used to, always the lads were doing football. We would be doing like netball or like rounders and rounders.
Oh, I used to love rounders.
I didn't. I don't know. It was all right. We used to do a variation actually called football rounders where you'd kick the ball instead of.
Oh, yeah.
That was good fun. But anyway, oh yeah, and then always in the end it was like every week it was dodgeball, and yeah, I just hated it. But
Oh, yeah, I hate that because I'd always get whacked.
yeah, they used to proper lob it, didn't they?
Yeah.
Even though the balls were like kind of soft ones. Yeah, so you'd go on like a rotational thing, and eventually you would come round to dance, and we had like a dedicated dance studio kind of thing.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
I mean, it had like I don't know what you call it, but like it was kind of like ballet, and then the mirrors and stuff
Well,
like that.
that's very fancy. We
Yeah,
just had one gym
we had,
that
we had a
was kind
gym
of like
like a
everything.
gym was directly next to it, so the gym with all the equipment in. So we'd rotate that as well. So you'd either do gym, something outside, or dance. So yeah, when it got to dance, I was like, absolutely not. I used to what I used to do is really bad. You didn't have to do it if you had a verruca because you couldn't take your socks off.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I had a verruca for most of the year. No, she soon found out, but
Oh
yeah,
my
I
God, that's
just
great.
I just used to avoid it because again, it's mirrors. You're fully like kind of exposed. Everyone can see you. It's
Yeah.
acting, isn't it? It's acting. So again, and the teachers
Yeah.
for dance were like perfectly nice. Like they weren't gonna, but it was quite sad really because they could tell. I think that half the people just hated it.
Yeah. That is quite sad. I mean, because I used to do dance
Yeah,
and I stopped in year 9, I think, when I was 13.
Lindsay's a
Um,
very good dancer, by the way. Can I just
I'm
say
really not.
she is.
No, I'm not. Um, looking back at the videos, it's awful. But anyway, so I used to like kind of when we did do dancey stuff, I used to really enjoy it. But I feel like we didn't really do much of it.
Yeah, it's weird
Um,
how schools vary, isn't it, on what they focus on?
yeah, we did Zumba in like year 10 and
Oh wow,
11. I
that's
feel
very
like that was,
energetic.
well, I feel like that was kind of just as Zumba was kind of becoming a thing or like
Yeah,
becoming more popular, because I remember kind of not ever hearing about it, then doing it at school, and
yeah.
then
Because it
all of a
came out.
sudden it
I
was
tell
like
you what, it came
everywhere.
out for the Wii. There was like a Zumba game for the Wii, and you could get like the wristbands and stuff.
Yeah,
And like my mum got it, and I remember she played it once, and that was it. But and like yeah, it just suddenly exploded, didn't it? And then you never really heard of
yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's a bit like yoga at the moment. I feel like that's suddenly a massive thing, and it wasn't for a long time.
yeah, yeah, that's true. So yeah, we did Zumba that
Yeah.
was quite dancey and would like sort of do these little routine things, and
Oh, I'd be like sweating.
oh, it was bad. There was this one bit that I remember quite well where you had to turn around and like go on the floor and then stand back up again, and everyone would be stood up and I'd still be sat on the floor like help.
Oh, yeah.
But it was quite good. My favourite, to be honest, was table tennis.
Oh wow, we never did that.
Oh,
That's cool.
table tennis is pretty
We
amazing.
did badminton, which I hated. Just didn't like it. Like why? I'd
Oh,
much rather hit a ball than a weird whatever it's called, that thing that you hit in badminton.
shuttlecock.
Yeah, so weird. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that reminds me. Like sports day was another thing that I just
Oh yeah, I did like that.
tried at every opportunity to get out of.
I enjoyed it at primary school, but senior school, nah.
Nah, nah.
Which again, because of the people, I
Yeah,
think. I
yeah.
feel like primary school is a lot more of a community kind of thing. Like kind
Well,
of
I think primary school, if you look at like from a development standpoint, you've not, no one's really kind of figured out who they are yet because it's just too early, you know.
yeah,
And
true.
yeah, no one's really judging each other because there are popular people in primary school, but yeah, I think at secondary it's so much more defined, you know.
Yeah, yeah, you've got like your little
Like if
groups.
anything, you could be a complete loser at primary school, but no one would know in secondary. That's the kind of way, like
Yeah,
it's kind of an opportunity to completely reinvent yourself, really. But
yeah,
so yeah, anyway,
yeah.
so as
Totally just
yeah,
like moved off
moving
topic.
on. So as a result of these things that we're talking about, there has been a drop in the amount of people taking GCSE drama, and there's fears that it will be cut from the curriculum completely because it's not, like I say, it's not compulsory. Schools do not have to have it in their national curriculum, and I've put here like it'll negatively impact diversity in the industry, um,
Yeah.
because the underrepresented. Oh, I'll try it again. Underrepresented, scented people who are under, just people who are like,
Underrepresented.
yes, them. I was like trying to put like too many eds. Them, those sort of people are the people that are usually discouraged from that sort of thing. So like working class people and things like that,
Yeah,
because it's not seen as cool and it's seen as a risk, isn't it? Going into drama is seen as a risk
yeah,
because if you don't, like, there's always that thing. Well, will I make it? And
yeah. And if
and
you
it
don't
was,
make it, it's like, what's your backup option?
yeah, it's seen as a failure if you don't make it, and it kind of ties into what you were saying to me before this about the fact that it's only really sold as performance, isn't it?
Yeah, that was kind of the biggest thing that I was thinking of. Kind of looking back now, kind of well, yeah, like you only got to do theatre or drama as a performance. There was never really much about the actual backstage and like set design and kind of, well, all the lighting and sound, and kind of the
Yeah,
lighting and sound was sort of done by just
like a
other
member of
people.
staff. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think at primary school, kind of we'd have like one main set that some of the art teachers did, and I think some people could volunteer to help out. But it was never kind of done as like you can do this as a career,
yeah.
and
No
especially
one ever
things
said to
like
me that this was like that would be an option, for a job or anything.
no, especially like things sort of like stage managers and stuff. That was
Yeah,
even less off the charts because it's like what these people
these people
actually
actually, yeah, yeah,
exist. Like,
absolutely, yeah.
I mean, when I
It's
used to do the shows at primary school, you'd kind of have one person at the back doing the sound and the lighting, and then you'd have the one person kind of at the front, sort of being like the conductor almost. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, no, yeah,
And that was it, really. Maybe a
yeah,
couple of teachers to be like, you need to go on the stage, but
yeah. And
kind of,
it's the same way like with um when it comes to when you get to like when you do GCSEs and it comes to post 16 options, they always push the university route, which drama you don't go down the university route to get into drama. Um,
yeah,
and yeah, they always push schools tend to push the university route rather than alternative options like apprenticeships and stuff, where learning on the job, especially like technical theatre, learning on the job is literally like the most important thing, the most important part of it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
I don't remember kind of even being given them sort of options. I mean, for
no,
me, who I knew I didn't want to go to university, and it was still very much pushed like you need to apply even though you don't want to go. And
yeah,
it's like,
which is
why?
so bad,
Like,
really. Yeah,
yeah, I mean, I don't know if things have changed a little bit more now because I feel like apprenticeships are becoming a bit more popular again.
yeah. I think the government have kind of got this strategy where they are trying to say, look, like it's okay if you don't go to university.
Yeah,
And there's so many other ways, and you can do like distant learning degrees now and all that kind of
yeah.
thing.
There's so many more options.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, to some people, drama is seen as not a subject, a soft subject. But what I find quite hypocritical is they're absolutely adamant on having Shakespeare in the curriculum. It's been a
Yeah,
mainstay, but he wrote them to be performed, not test. He didn't write them for you to be tested on them.
yeah,
So why not take the fact that they want Shakespeare in there as like a British icon and stuff? Why not take that and like perform Shakespeare and stuff? Yeah, like
yeah,
students find it dry when they're learning about it, but it's different perspective when you're actually performing it. It becomes suddenly less boring.
yeah. I mean, we did actually watch Romeo and Juliet in English,
Yeah,
kind of like just like the film. Um,
was that the Shakespeare play you did? Did you do a Shakespeare play for your English?
yeah,
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 yeah.
um,
Ours was Macbeth.
yeah.
Or the
Ours was
Scottish
Romeo and
play
Juliet.
in theatre, because you must not utter that.
No, do not do that.
Yeah,
um. So yeah, so we did watch it, but again, because it was kind of a thing, people like messed about and didn't properly
yeah,
take it in,
yeah.
and also it didn't help because the English classroom we had like this tiny little TV in the corner that was kind of like really high up,
Oh
and
yeah, so it's not the
it was
best.
like the worst thing to watch ever.
We just like projected ours onto the whiteboard.
Yeah, I don't know kind of like why they didn't do that.
Yeah, because laptops can take CDs. That's mad.
Yeah, unless it was like a video, I don't
Yeah,
know.
cool.
Um, but yeah, it was like this tiny little um, TV, and I mean that didn't help. Well, we did watch Joseph in RE as well. I feel like I've had a lot of Joseph in my school life growing up.
Yeah,
So we watched the film. Well, is it? I guess it is the film of it, but the one like kind of like the live actiony one where it's like
oh,
on theatre but not.
with Donny Osmond.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
know the one. Yeah,
Um, and I feel like people didn't mess about with that one as much. Um, but yeah, still like people just didn't take it seriously.
yeah. Um, and moving on to like recent times, because I found an article that was quite interesting. Well, it kind of makes sense, I guess. So obviously, as a result of the coronavirus, they're suggesting that schools are going to kind of ditch what they deem the unimportant subjects to make up for almost a year's worth of education that will have been missed. And
Yeah, that's
again,
true.
the focus will be on the core subjects.
Yeah,
Because they have to be passed, and schools are judged on the percentage that pass those subjects. That's the problem. It's because of
yeah,
it's all about league tables these days.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, it's ridiculous because a lot of the stuff I like learn in them core subjects aren't actually kind of life
yeah,
lessons as such.
yeah,
Like a lot of the stuff I did in GCSE maths isn't it doesn't help me work out my money. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say maths is a classic one, really,
yeah,
because apart from basic arithmetic and stuff like that, yeah, the trigonometry stuff, you
yeah, like
just,
what? Why?
yeah,
When are you ever gonna need that?
yeah. Like surprisingly, you do use maths in theatre when like today I was doing like equations to work out amps and stuff and watts
Oh
and all
yeah,
the electric. It's more science, I guess, but it's still a
yeah,
mathematical equation.
yeah.
And
They kind of cross over,
I was
don't
like,
they?
oh God, didn't think I'd need that. But yeah, a lot of things. Yeah, you just won't use again, really.
No, I mean it's not really theatre related, but I feel like kind of the curriculum should be more geared towards life lessons.
Yeah, yeah, no one teaches you about bills and
No,
just apparently there used to be a thing for that. It used to be a subject called something, I don't know what it was, but it used to be like literally a subject where you were kind of taught that stuff. But
yeah. I remember my mum kind of like they used to have like this house, and they'd have to kind of like look after the house and
wow,
like do the cleaning and
that's
everything. And
amazing.
like that was something you did at school. Like
Yeah,
I find that so weird.
yeah, it really is. You kind of get to 18 and you're just, kind of
Yeah,
chucked out
dumped
there.
in the
Here
outside
you
world.
go,
Like
try living.
yeah, you need to know what you want to do for the rest of your life. Off you go.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, so um what annoys me, so the question is should it be made compulsory? And what annoys me is that PE, or also known as physical education, is compulsory.
Yeah,
And that's, I think they say at least an hour a week. You have to do at least an hour a week. So why not just make an hour of drama? Just an hour is really not a lot out of the timetable.
yeah, but kind of mix it up a bit. So you're not pushing all the people who don't want to perform to perform.
Yeah, yeah. Think about the other roles. I think once people know, people can't be expected to know about something that you don't tell them. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's the main thing, really. Um, yeah. So I don't know if you've got anything else for that.
No, not really. I mean, it. Yeah, I just think it needs mixing up a bit more, doesn't it? Really.
Yeah, basically, push the drama. Is what we're saying.
Yeah, but
But then we would
not
say that
purely performance.
we were never going to do an episode where we were like, ah, nah,
Get rid of
drama's
drama.
a bit of a crap subject, really. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think if I was kind of aware of backstage theatre and all of the other bits to theatre other than performing, kind of my life might have taken a different direction.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just so annoying, isn't it, when you look back and you're like, why didn't I know
Yeah,
that before?
yeah, like I want another chance.
Yeah, restart, rewind.
Yeah. Can someone tell me about every single career that I could have?
See, we
Obviously, they can't
actually
do that, but
had a careers advisor in school, like a
yeah,
dedicated kind of lady, but she never really. Again, she was very like uni, you know.
yeah. Well, same. I mean, I went basically. If you didn't want to go to uni, you was forced to go see the careers advisor, which I was like, okay, fine, whatever. So I went, and she was still like, "Oh, go on these websites and look at all the uni courses." I'm like, "Oh, this is ridiculous." But she also didn't kind of share jobs that I didn't know about. It was basically
No,
like, "What do you want to do?" It's like, well, I don't know. So I kind of ended up doing the stuff that I'm good at, and now I'm
yeah,
like, do I really want to do this
and
for the rest of my
and
life?
that's what I did initially. I did something I was told that I was good at
Yeah,
by numerous people. And I enjoyed it to some extent, but I didn't enjoy it enough that I wanted to do it for myself, if that makes sense.
yeah, that's kind of where I am now. I mean, I
Yeah,
do sort of enjoy it, but I feel like I would enjoy doing something in theatre more. So, which is
yeah.
why I'm
I mean,
hopefully,
it's probably a good time to mention I'm currently doing a technical theatre course, and I got to be honest, I'm not very good at it, but I just love it so much that doesn't matter, and I'm only just
yeah,
started, so
yeah, it's early days.
yeah,
And I'm hoping to volunteer at a local theatre when theatre gets going again.
Yeah, great timing, isn't it? As
We shall
always.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right then, so moving on to the news. We have
Yes.
got a lovely mixed bag again this week.
We do. There's been a lot lately.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird, really, considering we're like, virtually in lockdown again. There's so much going on.
Yeah.
This is a busy time of year, just anyway, though, isn't it? The lead up to Christmas. Um,
Yes.
so Strictly has now got a confirmed start date, and it'll be 24th October. And
Exciting.
in the 4 weeks kind of leading up to that, there's the best of specials that we've been talking about in previous episodes, and one aired last week, which was the movie week one, and it continues what will be tomorrow with Blackpool.
Yeah.
And yeah, quite enjoyed last week's.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of a mixed opinion.
Yeah, there was a lot of backlash
kind of...
because people wanted to see the way they did it. If you didn't see it, it was they would kind of show the dance, but then there'd be a lot of talking, wouldn't there, in the background, and they would kind of switch, rather than just show the
they never
dance
showed the full dance
in its entirety. Yeah.
Although I did see someone say on Twitter, I'm not sure if it was Kevin Clifton, maybe, could be making that up, basically that all of the dances are on YouTube if you wanted to see the full dance.
Yeah, which is so true.
Yeah.
I guess the only thing that annoys me about the YouTube ones is it doesn't show the judges' comments.
No, that annoys me. Although I think recently they've started showing the scores, haven't they? But still not the comments.
No. Yeah, they've done that for at the end they do a thingy that comes up, don't they, with the
just like which
and
number.
I think they did show when there was a 40 they did show the scores, didn't they? But that was they've sort of changed it recently. And then the other piece of theatre related news, moving on to the theatre related news, just Strictly. So ATG, that famous theatre group, suspended their shows, so they keep just moving this date along, really, don't they? So now shows are suspended until 27th of November. I really think that's probably going to be extended.
Until at least next year.
And they've also announced all of their 2020 pantomimes are now taking place next year. They own 38 venues. Not all of them have a festive show, but the majority of them do.
Yeah. Which, just thinking about it, it makes no sense, does it? So they've suspended the shows until the 27th of November, but then suspended the pantomimes, which will take up most of December anyway.
Yeah, so surely, so I would say, really, if you're thinking of, guidance-wise, just don't book anything. Because it's likely going to get moved.
Yeah, unless you expect it to be moved.
Yeah, unless you're obviously completely willing for it to be moved.
Yeah. So then there's also The Shows Must Go On returns today, and that's with Fame. So that's the YouTube channel that was kind of started by Andrew Lloyd Webber, showing different, it's full shows, and they're available for 24 or 48 hours.
Yeah, it
sort
depends.
Of varies, doesn't it?
Yeah, it depends where you are as well, but for the UK it's usually 48.
Yeah.
But make sure you check just in case.
Yeah, get this in. And then also, I don't know how you say this, is it Nimax?
Oh yeah, I was wondering how you pronounce.
Didn't look into that.
Basically the theatre that has 6 in it.
Well, it's not actually, because they've moved theatres.
Oh no! Oh yeah, because they were at Arts. They were at Arts, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. Okay, so they've the six has moved theatres to this one.
Yeah. So Nimax theatres, we're going with Nimax. Could be Nimax. I don't know. They have got quite a few West End theatres, and they've announced that they're going to be opening shows where possible in all of their theatres. And 6 is one of them that's opening very soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to do 2 things at once and find out where it actually is. Lyric Theatre. Is it?
Yeah, I think that rings a bell
sounds
to me.
Right.
Yeah, so, we had to get a 6 in there because we love talking about Six, and
We
when they're
do.
doing open air shows, then they're not, then they are, and now
Oh,
they're reopening.
now they're
So
at the Lyric Theatre, and they're also, I'm not sure when that is, they're also opening it um, in Manchester for a few weeks as well, I think.
oh, there you
Yeah,
go then. So that's the news for this week. So song of the week.
yeah. So I decided to go for a Lion King song because of the fact that I did Lion King when I was a
Yeah.
kid.
So link it to the episode. We like that.
Yeah, and I've gone for Circle of Life because it is just an amazing song. I
Yeah.
feel like most people know it as well. Like
Yeah.
even
It's
people
it's a
who,
show tune, isn't it? Really.
yeah, just people who haven't even really watched Lion King. It's just one of them songs,
It's
isn't it?
just a classic. Like when you think of Lion King, that is kind of what I think of, really, song
Yeah,
wise.
yeah, just
Never,
like
I've
the
never
opening song.
actually, I've never actually seen the show or anything. I've seen the film, but I've never actually seen the
Oh, have
show.
you not?
No.
Yeah, I saw it. Can't remember when it was. 2011, I think. So I can't remember much about it. Although I do remember the people was like walking down from the back to the front, like towards the stage.
Yeah,
That was
yeah. That
quite cool.
that that happened on the video I watched of it because I watched a video to look at the lighting.
Oh, yes.
As one would as a technical theatre student.
Becoming all professional now.
Yeah, not like I know anything yet, but well, I'm learning light names currently. Just if anyone if
Oh.
anyone cares, I'm learning light names. We've got an interesting one for you. We are going to have a look back at Strictly Specials in the past. Kind of to celebrate the fact that there's Strictly Specials airing at the moment, as we mentioned.
Yeah.
And also look at some suggestions for the future on what they could do. And we've got some, creative ideas, I think.
Yeah.
So it should be a
Good
good one.
discussion.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's all.
Time for the curtain call.